Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Amitha. Join us weekly to get inspired by stories and events. Our guest today is an exemplary example to the community and has rightfully won many awards. She wears multiple hats. Founder and director of a not-for-profit organization, realtor, event organizer, speaker, mentor, radio and TV host, a caring mom and wife, and much more. It's my pleasure to welcome back to our show, Miss Mokshi Virk. So nice to have you back, Mokshi.
Thank you, Amitha. Thanks for having me again at your studio.
Yeah. So you're doing a lot for women empowerment. We want to get to that, but before that, let us enlighten our viewers a little bit more about who you are.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit more about your upbringing, your education, and how did you come to Canada?
Sure. So, Amitha, I'm from India. I'm from Chandigarh. And Chandigarh is a beautiful city. It was designed by a French architect, and it was something like Canada. So we were living in India, but we had a beautiful environment there. So I studied Masters in English, and I did my Bachelor's in Mass Communication. So I started my career in journalism. As a journalist, I started, and it was a good experience. Moving on, I moved on to PR, public relations, and I was into a government job in India. I was a media manager handling a state-level government organization. It was a wonderful experience, and I was really enjoying my life. And after marriage, my husband decided that we should plan moving out of country. So our first preference was Canada. People were really taking like 2 to 3 years to really immigrate to Canada. So my husband decided that let's try New Zealand as well. So we applied to Canada as well as New Zealand. And we were really fortunate. We got both letters of acceptance from both Canada and New Zealand. But we finally chose to come to Canada.
Great.
Yes.
So when you came here, was it easy to get settled? In two regards. One is to settle the family down, and in the other regard, because you were a career woman as well, was it easy to get into the system here?
And I would say not really. When we came, actually, I had a small 6-month-old baby with me. So it was a big challenge. And a new country with no relatives, no friends, just landing here as a permanent resident. And my husband, me, and my 6-month-old baby, we were here in Brampton and didn't know anyone here. So it was, initially it was a struggle. So my husband decided that he will start working, and I was stay-at-home mom initially. And as you said, having such a good career in India and suddenly you are here with no work, just a little baby to handle and look after. So it was initially, it was very frustrating. I was like, oh my God, this is what my life is going to be. But you know what, when I was home, I decided that I should take up some courses, maybe do something sitting at home. So I started doing some courses in mortgage. I did my first course in mortgage, took a license, tried my hand in that. Somehow I didn't really like it as a career, so I moved on and did my real estate courses. So I utilized that time while I was home. So I did all my courses, which were the prerequisite to be a realtor.
Kudos to you, you know, instead of giving up and getting bogged down by the fact that it's a struggle after, you know, getting married, having a child, and then moving to a new country, you decided, you know, take it one step at a time and push towards, you know, getting back into being a career woman.
That's right.
That's great. That in itself is, you know, leading by example, because you do a lot of stuff for women empowerment. So that is amazing. Now, beyond being a realtor, you went ahead and started also giving back to the community. So what inspired you? You had already so much on your plate, like, you know, as a wife, as a mom, as a realtor, and then you started giving back to the community through the different activities. But what inspired you to do that?
So, Amitha, when I was meeting my clients during my real estate work, I was meeting most of the new immigrants. And when I was in an open house, a lot of people would walk in and they'll talk about their personal circumstances, that how they are new, they don't have credit, or they have problem with down payment, or maybe one of the spouses not working, whether it's a husband or a wife. Like, everybody was talking about this like adjustment, that how they can get started. So I felt they were exactly in the same shoes as I was when I started my career here. So when I was helping them start their life as first-time home buyers, so I felt that most of the time women were home. Most of the women were home, like either as a housewife or as a mother. And they were always looking to either socialize, network, or maybe, you know what, start their own business. Because a lot of women, when they're home, they look for an opportunity to start a home-based business. And some are already running like a boutique or a jewelry business or some craft business, or they took up a license of insurance or mortgage, and they were stay-at-home moms as well. So they were always looking for an opportunity. So that really actually inspired me to maybe start something for them to help them really come out of their home and showcase their business or services that they provided. So as you rightly said, in 2013, we started our very first event in Brampton, and that was celebrating International Women's Day.
Nice.
So again, just to empower other women and support them and nurture them and really build up a community where we are supporting each other. So that initiative was in 2013 that we took for the first time. I was a little hesitant because I was wondering that I don't know so many people. I don't know how we're going to get started. But we had such a strong community here, and I got such a good response. We were expecting maybe 20, 25 people to show up because we really promoted big time with TV, radio, and other media. But we were surprised we had over 100 people in our first event.
Nice. You know, people are listening and they are watching your actions. So,
That's right.
You know, you shouldn't think that your actions are going to be small.
Yes.
It creates a wave, a ripple effect, and probably that's why it took off so well, because you had the good in your heart. You used your experience to try and help others, and that's why it was a success.
Oh yes, and Amitha, I think it was a need too. I mean, there was a need. We didn't have really a community organization who would represent us or maybe understand our requirements. So when we started this initiative, we got such a good response.
Great. Well, that was just the beginning, and then you have gone on and done so much more. So we want to find out more.
Sure.
But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to the recipient of the Catalyst for Change Award 2019, awarded at the Mother's Day celebration held by Nigerian-Canadian newspaper. Welcome back to the show, Miss Mokshi Virk. So this is great, Mokshi. So your first initiative in 2013 was such a great success.
That's right.
You had mentioned that, you know, so there aren't many organizations who are kind of focusing on this fact about women empowerment, whether it be in general or with immigrant women. So were you part of any such organization, or did you start such a not-for-profit organization?
So, yeah, I looked around, but I didn't find really any organization who were really focusing on helping women, especially new immigrants, and again, in self-employment. So then we decided to set up our own non-profit organization to make it an annual event, because the first event was really successful, and most of the people who were participating with us, they really asked us that, are you planning to do another one? We would be interested in joining again. And so that inspired us to really make it annual event. And we thought of setting up a non-profit organization so that we can run it under a banner. So we made an organization called Indo-Canadian Arts and Culture Initiative, and short form is ICACI. And again, the purpose was to help new immigrants, women in particular. And moving on, we thought we'll even help youth, because they are an important, integral part of our community. So and in this ICACI event that we actually started giving out Women Hero Awards. And the purpose was to recognize the efforts and the success stories. So women who have been immigrant and they had their journey, they had their part of struggles, but now they are very successful in their field. And we wanted to recognize them and actually promote them as a role model for other women. Because when you're new, you don't know exactly what to do. So if you see a role model getting a recognition, that inspires you to maybe venture into that field or some other field. So different fields. So we asked for nominations, and initially we started with 5 awards, but moving on, this year was our 7th year, and we gave away over 10 Women Heroes Awards.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's great. So this organization is really making a difference in the community. If I come back to the fact that for the awards, you are focusing on immigrant women, What about activities for women who are already based here? Maybe they are not immigrant, but they're first generation and so forth.
Yes. So what we do is, as we mentioned in the organization, it's promoting art and culture as well. Because I felt that we all come from different communities and we are really multicultural in Canada. So we wanted to showcase a rich art and culture from their own countries. So it's open to all the diverse countries. So our organization really encourages other communities to get involved. And for last few years, we have a participation from Black community, from European community, Egyptian. So we have picked up people from different communities, different diverse communities, and recognize them. So
great.
It could be a police officer and doing their work. It could be a businesswoman who is running, one of the businesswomen is into construction business. So that's a different field for a woman to be a part of. And she's a CEO, she's running 3 different construction companies. So they are the people who are really a role model for other women.
So that's great to know. It's you know, sometimes, you know, I know people stereotype, looking at you, they might say, okay, this must be a South Asian, you know, organization, but it's not. It's for every community that's available. Beyond the awards that are given, what are some of the other activities that ICACI is involved with?
So what we do is that we invite guest speakers, and they are mostly people who have really achieved success. So we had been having a guest speakers from CTTV. We had a vice president of insurance company. So people who have really worked hard and reached a position that can really inspire. Besides that, we have like vendors and sponsors who participate with us. Again, it's an opportunity for them to showcase their services and products. It's a good opportunity for them. And then we have beautiful performances. So we pick up a performance from all different diverse communities. Chinese performance, South Asian performance. We have Nepal performing with us. So Black community performing. So we have different diverse performances. So it gives you a very rich mosaic and culture showcase.
That's great and amazing. So you come to one event, but you get to see the whole side of Canada almost.
That's so
and that
true.
is quite empowering. So the women who think that they cannot go beyond being stuck within a box of, you know, coming to Canada, struggling, or being within Canada and struggling, not able to find their place in society, they see this and get inspired. And like you said, there's a lot of networking that happens.
Oh, yes. That's what we promote big time. Like our first hour is usually a business networking hour. So when you come in, you're actually meeting all the sponsors and vendors and you're networking with other people. It's a good opportunity. And I have seen people making a lot of new connections, which is very helpful. Whether you're looking to start a career or you're looking to enter into some business, so you get a lot of information from there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what's next for the activities that you are planning?
So, Amitha, as I mentioned that youth is a very integral part. So we started actually giving about Young Achiever Award too. So we wanted to encourage young people if they are doing good work in their community. So let's recognize them. With their feedback, they said that we need to have some more maybe seminars and workshops focused on youth. So moving on, what we started doing is since last year, we have been running some workshops for youth. So it is career counseling, meditation, health and wellness. So we are running some workshops for them. Besides that, I have been running business entrepreneur networking group. So again, purpose is to help women and other newcomers to come together and support each other's business. So this is what we have been doing on quarterly basis. And we would like to continue with that.
Well, I can see it will be quite a big success because, like I said, you have the right heart and mind.
So
and you're getting support from a community who really requires these services.
That's right.
So that's great. So this is your organization, you know, beyond you being a realtor, but I know you're also part of many other charitable organizations and you do great work with them as well. So we want to know more about that. But before that, it's time for a short break. Welcome back to Spotlight. We are talking to the recipient of the Women Achiever Award by the GTA Northwest Community Services in 2019. Welcome back, Ms. Mokshi Virk. So this is great, Mokshi, an immigrant woman who came, a woman who had a family, who left a career back in India, took up being a realtor, moving on to a not-for-profit organization helping the community. This is great.
Thank you.
And beyond that, now you're also part of many other charitable organizations. So tell us a bit more.
Yes, Amitha, I felt that when we work in the community, you had to meet other people as well. So I was approached by other non-profit organizations to help them support their events. And they were like Langar Seva. They're doing beautiful work. They're helping, actually providing food to seniors or people who are sick that they cannot cook. So it's such a noble cause that they are supporting too. So they were doing their fundraiser for Langar Seva. So we supported them with our performances and whatever way we could support them. So like this, we had been supporting different other charitable organizations. Purpose was again to be involved in the community and support them, because every organization has a cause or a purpose of what they are doing. So we have been always trying to support them.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Where do you get so much energy and time to do all this? Beyond helping others, do you have some time for yourself as well?
Yes, Amitha. I have 2 young kids and they are in high school now. So real estate has been keeping us busy during the summer. So sometimes you don't really find time to spend time with family. But what I do is normally just to help my kids get some quality time with family, we take short breaks. And winter is the time we really take a break as a family. So in winter, during the Christmas time, we travel. So usually that's how we spend some quality time as a family. And besides that, I always feel that being a part of the community and getting my kids also involved is another thing that we do. Kids always need community hours in high school. So I have been engaging them with different volunteer organizations like Kerabram, which is a festival coming up. So my children have been participating as volunteers for the last few years. This way, so they're volunteering, plus they're getting the credit community hours. So it's helpful and it's building in them that they have to give back to the community as well.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, with all the work that you do and with all the different kind of women that you have come across and the youth that you have come across, what is 1 or 2 things that they think is lacking, which you can work on with your organization or as an individual or with the different charitable organizations that you're with?
Yes, I think there still need a lot to be done. And though we are trying to promote art and culture, we're doing our events to support different programs, just like we said we do International Women's Day. But when I meet a lot of women, and especially stay-at-home moms, they are looking for something to get started. And even though they are government-funded programs, they don't have the awareness. So sometimes I feel that we need to have more awareness about the different programs that government is also running. And as a non-profit, we can collaborate with the government and see if we can run some programs. So this is what I'm planning to do next as a future thing, that we will apply for some grants and where we can actually run programs on a regular basis at a center. So this could be the next step. That's what we are. We have a vision for, to maybe set up a center where we can actually support women come and attend different programs. So whether it's a marketing
physical space.
Exactly, a physical space where they can actually come and attend different programs. It could be bookkeeping, very simple things like bookkeeping. If you're running your own business, you sometimes want to have the information about accounting, or you want some information about how to market yourself. So these are the different programs that we are thinking of running, because this is what we got a feedback from the women who have attended our programs, that if we can have some place where we can come and get some information on a regular basis. So this is something which is in the pipeline, and let's see if it works out.
Well, you know it will work out, right, Mokshi? Because back in 2013, as you mentioned, you were worried about whether that event would be a success. And like you said, 7 years later,
I know,
and it's happening, you know, wonderfully. And is it an annual event, sorry, or twice a year?
So International Celebration of International Women's is an annual event in March every year, and we've really overgrown. So when we started, as I mentioned, was 100 people that time. This year we had over 700 guests. So it's like really good participation. It's really growing, and a lot of participation from different communities. I mean, not just our community. This time we had 2 women from the Black community. They were recognized. Which is nice to see that other communities are also sending in their nomination, and they look forward to that recognition. And they have done a lot of work, because we do our research when we are actually recognizing them, that what type of work they are doing in the community. So it's nice to know that it's really overgrown. And second is that we will add some more important features into this now, that we will be running workshops on a regular basis. And we would rather through this media, maybe we can reach out to people that if you're a newcomer, you can always reach out to us. You would like to volunteer, you would like to participate. Here's an opportunity, you can connect with us.
There you go. We have got the invite. Don't hesitate, because it's a change for you and the change for the community.
That's right, yes.
So this is great, Mokshi. So I know your vision for having that physical space will also work out.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been great talking to you today to get inspired. Do you have any final words of advice for our viewers and where they can get more information?
So I always believe that as a woman, we wear multiple hats. We are a mother, we are a housewife, we are a career woman, and besides that, we like to support our family as well. So I always say that you should feel strong that you're doing all this, and make a career as well. So self-employment is another way to go. I've met few women, they are saying that, oh, we didn't get employment, we're new, we're trying different jobs, we're not getting an opportunity. I always tell them, why not self-employment? That's another way of getting into work, and you're your own boss. So this is, I think, another thing that we should consider as a woman, because then you have flexible hours, you're working your own hours. And again, self-employment is another good way of getting employment. So if somebody wants more information, they can always reach out to me. We are always there to help and support. Our organization, Indo-Canadian Arts and Culture Initiative, has a website, icacicanada.com. We are on Facebook, we're on social media. They can always reach out to us, and maybe this way we can make a difference in the community.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mokshi, for talking to us today, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be a part of this.
Well, that was Miss Mokshi Virk. She has inspired us to be a catalyst towards change. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thank you for watching us. Continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter,